Hello, everyone. This is Mike again, and just wrote this on Facebook a while ago, and I really want to emphasize this on a short video. And this is some things that really irk me, and it's taken me 55 years to get to this point, maybe. And I hope that it, may relate to you also. Uh, Three things that really irritate me, and the first one would be on Facebook when people join groups, whether spiritual groups, medical groups, philosophy groups, whatever, the first thing that really irks me is instead of Googling or pulling out books and studying, or maybe even going to YouTube to watch a video, people are going to ask, what about this? For instance, let's say a Jewish group, they'll ask a question: what's the difference between the Noahide laws and the Ten Commandments? Well, study, Google, find out on your own. Go read books, buy books. Amazon, I know a lot of people are boycotting Amazon, but it's the best place to get books. Bookstores, go find books on this topic and actually get out of your spiritual laziness or physical laziness and actually research this on your own. Learn to study, learn to look. So that's the first one. Number two, how about don't listen to everything your spiritual teacher or leader is telling you without checking out what they are saying. And I know many of us is this is just programmed. I was brought up in the Methodist church and we really didn't get a lot of spiritual education, but if it did, you just didn't question it because, it was what the church taught. And I know Catholicism's the same way. I know Judaism's the same way. I know Orthodox is to a point the same. Orthodox Christianity is the same way. And I don't, Islam, I'm sure it's the same way. Whoever their imam is that's what you do. But people, you cannot continue just listening to these leaders without checking out facts. And when I say checking out facts, that don't mean going to read books on your religion to find out if it's true. Of course, they're going to back up their own beliefs and everything. It's funny that apologetics is so big. If I want to watch a debate between a Jew and a Christian talking about Jesus, I'm going to go outside of those two sources also and study to find out what is true also. I'm not going to just listen to the Jew, and I'm not going to just listen to the Christian. I also want to hear what other people say about him. I want to hear about what history may say, if anything, about it. And then I'm able to gather up information and make up my own mind. And this is true in all senses: spirituality, uh, everything, earth, flat earth, globe earth. Neither side can prove their point, although there's good arguments that you have to take into account and make up your own intellectual decision. And people, please, when you come on one side or another, don't go crazy and attack the other side. I hate to see people who find Torah and then start bashing Christians like they've known this all along. Let people walk their process. Let them walk. There's nothing wrong with showing them the signs, showing them the dangers, showing them stuff. But at some point, stop beating a dead. That's why I can't stand some of these Jewish apologetics who are after Christians, because it's the same thing over and over again, and they're just making disciples in this area. They're not growing. So do your own research. And if you have, for instance, this is just thrown out there. If you're a Trinitarian and you're not a Trinitarian, don't go to Trinitarian sources. I mean, you can, but go beyond that scope too to make your decision. In Judaism, there's so much division within Judaism that you really have to understand what you're saying. And when you say Judaism, it's different from Torah, although Judaism is based within Torah at some point. You really have to understand the different divisions, the different cults, and I say cult, I'm not being negative, but the different groups within that particular religion. Christianity is the same way. Spirituality is the same way. So be smart, do research, get off your rear end, and stop depending upon YouTube. You're actually going to have to research for truth. I don't have answers for you. You have to find the answers yourself. And third and last, politics. Stop depending upon CNN, Fox, Newsmax, One American News, all of these things to get your research. You say, well, Mike, how can I do this? Well, you're actually going to get off your rear end and look at some independent broadcasts, independent people out there who do a great job And you got to judge their work too, just like you would judge the mainstream. Don't just take what anybody says for granted. The Creator, you are divine. The Creator has breathed His life breath within you. You have the intellect to make decisions on your own. And no, your decision may not be my decision, and that's fine. It's all good. But the fact of the matter is you're going to have to actually do research, study people that you wouldn't normally look at, see all of the facts. And for instance, let's say the Q movement. All right, I go to mainstream media, see what they say about it, and then I start going to Q people, see what they say about it, and then I start bridging in and see what they say about it. And you see a lot of it's just bullcrap. A lot of it's not. But within that scope is what I'm saying is you've got to study, get off your rear end, and actually study these things. Don't just go and I'm off the 3 points now, but don't just go on YouTube if you want to study about Zohar and take the first 2 people you see on there. Don't just because they're Jewish or something think that what they're saying is absolutely true. Because it may be truth, but it's going to be a spin within that Jewish sect's understanding of that. In other words, Chabad has their spin. Uh, uh, Nachman has his spin. Everybody has their spin on Kabbalah. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong. And I'm not saying there's evil in any way, but you have to take this knowledge and you have to process this knowledge. Same with Gnosticism. We really don't understand what the Gnosticism 2,000 years ago is compared to what it is today. So you got to be very careful when you read the text to understand you're in new grounds as far as today, 2,000 years ago. There's some good teachers out there, but you really have to be balanced in your approach to this. So that's my rant this morning. Be very careful. Get off your lazy butt like I have to do. My end table, I know my wife gets sick of it. I have books. I have like 10 books that I keep on my table all the time so I can pull and read and get information. And even the books I have to double check them too. So don't be a zombie. Don't be a robot and just believe one side or the other or accept one truth and not the other truth. You're going to have to push through. We are in some very interesting times right now in this country, in this world. If you see what's going on in India, where the farmers are having to rise up because of the illegal dealings within the leadership of India. There's African countries that are going crazy right now. In the Middle East and stuff, there's a lot of questions happening. Uh, it's time that you really have to break away from the matrix of normal. When I was a kid, CBS, ABC, and NBC was all you had, and it was different news back then. Today, if you notice when you watch CNN, Fox, and all of them, they're almost all saying the same thing with a different spin, but they're saying the same thing. Break out of the matrix. Actually, buy yourself a Zohar. Find a use set of Zohar. Find your own Gnostic books. Find your own scriptures out there. You can find these things pretty cheap. If not, most of all of this stuff is online that you can read online. Don't depend upon others. I mean, it's not, I like to get help from people. I have good friends that I bounce ideas off of. But in the end, it's up to you to decide what is true for you and your family and stop following the flow. When I was a radical Christian back in the 80s, I had a t shirt that had these fish swimming this way, and it had the Christian fish swimming this way that says, go against the flow. Well, that is a true statement, and regardless of whatever religion you're in. Sometimes you've got to go against the flow to find the truth. The salmon swim upstream to breed. It'd be easier to go downstream, but they go upstream. There's a lot of reasons for that. But the main thing is sometimes you're going to have to go against the flow to find the truth. Don't get discouraged. I have many times. Don't give up. Don't fall into camp of atheism and just give up. Continue your search. And God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you.